All right, so Andrew got this. All right, so we got the wiring side done. Go ahead and key that on. This is full assist here. So we need to actually order a new hub because this one's got a nice little crack in it, but I put it back together enough so we can drive it, at least drive it in and out of the shop as we need to. But that is full assist, and we still have to disable the power steering pump in the front and then remove the rack to depower it, but that's it right there. Super duper easy. Alrighty, I'm starting to wrap up the inside of the Miata here. I've got the power cable ran. The hub actually cracked, which I didn't realize until I was putting it back in, but I have it tightened up just enough. So anyways, I'm tightening up all the hardware now. I've got to tie in all the set screws here. There's one obviously here, and then there's the lower one that we removed out of the power steering kit. So I've got to get those all tightened up here. I've got the lower mount tightened up, and then on the engine bay side, we're going to go ahead and start tackling removing the hydraulic pump itself. So it's just consisting of the reservoir, the pump, and whatever lines we can get. So all right, so just real quick here, we've got just to show you what we basically removed, we've got the NA Miata power steering reservoir, the SR20 pump, and the bracket for it as well. And of course the drive belt itself is now gone.
Yeah, I figured that.
And so it's freed up quite a bit of space over here. As you can see, the pump used to sit all over here, but now all this stuff is gone. This motor only has one belt running everything, which is going to be alternator and the water pump. But yeah, so we freed up quite a bit of space here. We still got the hose to remove, and then a couple things to cap off, and then that's that. All right, so we basically got our work inside here basically done, with the exception of the covers because we have to wait for the hub. So we've got I double checked all the mounting hardware, all that's tight for the upper and lower columns. I also put in the set screws for the upper and lower columns with some medium thread locker, so it's all good to go now. The only thing that we have to do now is actually get it onto the lift so we can remove the rack and depower it. And then obviously we've got to put the interior back in, but like I said, I can't do that until the new hub comes in. As you can see, e-power steering is working here, so it's all ready to go. All right, so we've got the rack out. Nothing crazy there, normal Miata type stuff. The problem that we're having though is pulling out the power steering cooler, which is this rod right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like wedged in between a lot of different places, and the intercooler and oil cooler does not make it any easier to remove. So Andrew is working on trying to pull it through the side here. We're gonna see if it comes out. Hopefully it will though. All right, the power steering cooler is out. We were able to actually snake it through the front here after we loosened the intercooler and a little bit of coercing, but we were able to get it out through this way. And so now this is another assembly that we're not using. So we get to remove some more stuff out of it. And once we depower the rack, it'll basically be done in terms of electric power steering. It'll have to go for an alignment again, but nothing too crazy. So fancy. This is all the stuff that you cut out? Oh yeah.
Yep, that's from the actual rack itself.
Yeah. Cool.
And yeah, and then the pieces that I took off of there and sealed that.
Yeah.
So it's all sealed, everything's sealed. It's really only sealed to keep dust out.
Yeah.
It has no other purpose.
Okay, so we're working on we finally got the SR Miata back from the alignment shop, and we're installing the Mishimoto thermostat here. So this one says 89 kA, but according to their website, it's the same. So we're gonna install this, see how it works, and hopefully it opens up a lot sooner than they say. And then the next part that we've got to install as well is the Flying Miata frame rail brace kit, and you guys will see why here shortly. So here's what happened with the frame rail here. This happened from when it got towed in this time around. They put the hook in and it pulled it forward. This side was already messed up though, so this side's always been kind of junk. And then this, we assumed that the chain broke and then it slid off, and then they put the hook into here to pull it up instead. So definitely didn't do a very good job towing it, but So about an hour of hammering, we were able to get this in. And this side went in relatively easy. It's the passenger side, the right side, that we had a lot of problems. And you can actually even see, we've massaged the hell out of it, but you can see that the brace is kind of bowed out on this side. But this side, there's just not enough material here to actually hit, because what's happening is that the frame rail here got pushed completely flat, and so that material had to go somewhere, and it basically bowed it out here. So we've hammered the hell out of this to try to get it somewhat in, but this is as best as we can get. So we can get most of it on this side lined up, but this back side here has a little bit of a gap. I think we'll be okay though once we start to drill the holes and bring it in. So we'll start basically over here on the front side and start working our way, and it should hopefully straighten everything out. All right, so Andrew got this all wrapped up. As you can see, we've got all the hardware in it. So I don't think that if this car ever gets the Flying Miata butterfly release, I don't think it's ever gonna line up. And the reason is that because this is just so far off, like you can see that even after hammering, that this is still kind of bowed out. So, I mean, it may or may not line up, I don't know, but I mean, I just don't really think so, just because of how far off this is going to be, but you never know. But yeah, so it's all done, interior's all in, thermostat's already done. We're waiting for the RTB to cure. We'll fill it up and bleed all the coolant out, and then after that, this car is basically ready to go home. So we currently have the Mishimoto thermostat in. The RTB secured over the weekend, so we're topping it off now, and the fans are running at the same temperature. We haven't made any adjustments on fan temp at all whatsoever, so it still comes on at about 180. But so far it looks like it's holding pretty good on temperature in terms of water temp there. So a little bit on the high side, but it's definitely a lot better than what it was. So we're gonna let the car run and idle today, and we're just going to see what temperatures it net us. So before this car, we kind of hover around like the 200 marker at idle, and right now it's 170-ish or so. So I mean, it's definitely doing a lot better than what it was before. So I think it's definitely working. So we'll go ahead and just let it run, and then we'll go from there. So unfortunately, we went to go fill this up with coolant, and I noticed that when we started up, it shot a bunch of coolant out, which unfortunately is like a sign of a bad head gasket. Now this car does have signs of overheating, or did have signs of overheating rather. So we're gonna check this out here, and what we're gonna do is a combustion leak test. And so what's gonna happen is we're gonna use a specific tool for this, and if there is exhaust gases, it changes the color to this. Usually it's like yellow or green. Yeah, fluid turns green or yellow when exhaust gases are present. So what you've got to do before you do that though is that you've got to get some coolant out of it. The good news is that it blew all the coolant out of it. So good news for us, not so good news for them. So the tool is this little piece right here. You just fill it up with level, let it run for a couple seconds, and then use this little thing to pull fluid through it, or air through it rather. All right, so as you guys can see, the car's running. It's a little bit over the fluid level here, but we let it run for about 30 seconds or so here. So we're gonna go ahead and do this number a couple of times. And you can see that it's changed from blue to yellow, yellow-green. Actually, it looks like piss, honestly. So yeah, unfortunately this car has a blown head gasket, and that's the cause of why this car was overheating. So, yep.